armor. So again, you might want to do an armor to populate the backgrounds of a little house that you're making of a old knight, or you want to do something like an inventory system again. Then we can go into the armor from scratch, and here we go in the same type of reasoning. We think about what kind of armor we want to do, the material, the shape, the texture. Then you can go here again from inspiration. You can look at some armor ideas that put like something like leather armor or cloth or metal, and then just decide that what works for you. Let's try out something. Let's open up our armor, zoom in. I like to put some of the pixel grid just because even after all this time, it just makes it easier for me to visualize something. Let's say that we want this armor to be a bit longer sleeved. This looks to me like it's gonna be something like, and again, I'm saying that maybe these lines here are a bit jaggy, but when you're, sometimes it's not a bad idea to leave them like that, because this now, when you look at it from here, it almost looks like this is made out of cloth. So actually, I would like to try something like this as well. So it's a bit ripped apart. I actually, in kind of like this, let's go completely like with the previous one, something like this. So this thing is going to be a bit ripped up. And you can always start doing this now, or you can, if you feel like it, you can decide to go with it later. And then we can actually have a little hole here, right? And then let's say that we want our armor to be, what should our armor be? Green, maybe turquoise. That would be a cool set of armor. Let's just make it a bit more this. Yes. This armor has seen some stuff. This guy most probably has fought some dragons in his time. So, and the turquoise thing, I would imagine that it's made out of some kind of precious stones. So this thing is going to be very reflective. So we can really go to town here. No worries. We want to show that even though it has been ripped up, actually I would say that I would want to do something like this. And you will see what I mean here. Because now, if we take this and then change it to a bit darker one, just put some pixels in these ones, we can actually simulate like the whole thing has been bent out of shape. So put some here, exactly like this. It's bent out of shape. Then I actually like more. It needs to be more brilliant. And do something like this here, here. And again, we are making small adjustments, small. No need to put here, just to show that it's and then on this side we just make it dark, because again it's been completely bent. The years have not been kind. I would say that it actually would be cool if we see the back of it, but that needs to be darker. I would say that needs to be a bit darker because the sun would not be going in. Something like this. Then we can of course have a little bit of texture inside just to make it a bit more interesting. Nothing too special. Something like this. But I would say that we can do even better. I think we can start doing some cracks. Do some little more cracks here and there. Make them bling bling. You can see you can play around with these combinations of lights and shadows to actually give some depth to the whole thing. Kind of say, okay, this light is actually jumping around. Actually say that this looks nice. Let's just put some more here. Some self-occlusion. More here. More self-occlusion, but then something like this. And we slowly but surely start to see something coming together. Let's say that we go full on green light, and then put some patches here. And we have the same patch, but a bit darker on this side. Maybe not on the whole side, because here we have a brighter spot, we have a darker spot, but then we have something like this. This you can kind of see when you visually represent it. It looks quite nice. Again, I would say that we can go a bit crazier because this most probably is not going to be moved and animated. Something like this, and then a bit here. And let's before I'm going to go too much crazy with it, I'm just going to put a bit of oh, sorry about that, a bit of diamonds here. And because I really want the whole aesthetic to pop, a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here, and a little bit. Something like this. If you want, of course, you can go crazier and say, okay, this is actually completely destroyed. I want to show that this thing cannot be repaired. Something like this. And of course, you are all welcome to test out stuff like, oh, what happens if these things are actually can be disconnected. So something like this. I mean, this becomes a bit too busy for me, so I'll return. But I think it's a nice little armor of a lich or something like that. Or a ghost. I think it looks okay. Try it out, test out. This might have been a bit too fancy, but I mean, if we just take this into consideration and start playing around, we can also make some pretty stuff. Actually, I would say that we could have also made a little bit of oops, something like this maybe. Just to make it open up, and of course put the dark here, just to make it a bit more three-dimensional, even with the 2D visuals. I always like to do that, something like this. So yes, again, try it out, experiment, and see you in the next one.